Once we become news items, we become just victims of the thing. But I want to give the three-dimensional aspect about it. To do that, this way we need creativity. We need people, young or young people, to be able to tell their stories and tell them in a creative manner.
How did this trip about hats come about?
There's this guy called Nadir and I met him like 3 years ago, and when I first met him I was really inspired by his vision to just like, well, not really his vision, just like the way that he really valued cultural heritage and the beauty of it, and his vision to sort of bring it along with him and find ways to connect with it, and his appreciation for things like Uzbek culture and Uyghur culture. It just helped me to see it from a different perspective, from a different lens. Yes.
What do you think of Bukhara?
Bukhara is incredible. It definitely has a different life and different spirit to the city. It feels very special compared to Samarkand and a few other places that we've been to.
Well, you had issues with Samarkand, why though?
Yeah, so Samarkand, I feel like it just has this superficial vibe about it. Can't quite explain it. It's almost like too perfect, if you know what I mean. In Bukhara, things are slightly a bit more raw in a few places, a bit more rustic, and it just feels more genuine. But aside from the way that it looks, there's just a different energy about this place that you don't get in Samarkand.
Honest to God, I think Subi and I are in agreement that Bukhara is something special. But there is a substance here.
This place, this city still has a soul.
Yeah. So I promised, I'm trying to like tone down my shopping, but everything's just so nice. I like this, it's a bit small for me, as you can tell, because I can't actually scratch my own head. But I have to say, especially the Bukharan stuff is particularly beautiful. And I think that's
also beautiful.
That's very nice.
I really like this. It fits really well.
That's really nice.
But if you interrupt me again, we're gonna have a problem.
Nothing.
I just can't imagine walking the streets and people wearing this stuff. The kind of history nerd in me just kind of freaks out.
The fact that even in ancient times they were like using Japanese fabric, for example.
Yeah.
Like it's just, it really is like coming together.
Yeah.
It had been around 2 weeks up until this point, and one of the best things about this whole journey had been witnessing the shift in Sophie, where she was tight or restricted before. The way that she was interacting and negotiating everything around her had completely changed. Her body language had shifted, her face had lit up.
Oh my god, they're saying that I can try it. I'm so excited.
It was as if her heart had opened up to everything that was happening around her.
Oh, shit. Guys, this is so freaking hard. I'm breaking everything. I'm breaking her beautiful work.
This is just their life work, yeah.
Try not to it up. Right?
Thank you for the faith that you have in me and my ability to try it. I did it!
Yes.
Oh my god, I did it! Yes! I can actually do it now. Like,
It was quite moving to see. She probably wouldn't admit it, but these are really hard things that we're doing. We are asking really difficult questions. It requires you to expose parts of yourself so that maybe you've kept secret, to unearth insecurities and be very vulnerable. And that's not easy to do.
it felt amazing. I felt like I just connected with the spirit of the place in a way that doesn't happen very often, but it was such a special moment for me.
Yeah, it was alright.
He's just jealous that he didn't get a shot.
She didn't ask me if I wanted to try, and all these gender norms, we're trying to break that. The bravery she's shown throughout this whole trip has been really inspiring. I know I've learnt a lot, and I know for certain that I'm just really grateful that she has shown the courage to open up how she feels about her Uyghur and Uzbek heritage so that we can learn through her and her experience. Bukhara is a special place because it's known as like the antique capital, but also has a really rich tradition of amazing hats and carpets. So every little store that we walk past, Subhi literally keeps walking in. He spends about 10-15 minutes scanning all the hats. But these hats are beautiful, I have to say.
How's this one?
That's great.
This is like the traditional Bukhara style because it's round, and the square ones are Bukhara style embroidery, but the square is Tashkent shape.
Yeah.
So at the Hat Bazaar in Bukhara proves just how many different styles of hats there are all over the country. Hats have a story because they're all linked to like a regional culture and a context and a people, and that's why we're focusing on them, because the hat is the medium to translate that cultural experience. Just walking here and seeing the different styles is amazing.
So you said something really interesting about a hat being a ID or like a passport.
Yeah.
To someone's identity. Like what?
First time people started to have passports after Bukhara becoming semi-colony of Russia. But before that, from the heads of the people, the others could have idea from what area of Central Asia they were.
Yeah.
This way, like Turkmens had their own hat, Kazakh, Kyrgyz had their own hats. This way, hats were passports.
Dude,
What is this one?
this one is from Khiva. Oh my god, this is perfect for like when you're doing a dance.
Like a Sufi Rasta.
Sufi wrestler.
Rasta.
Yeah. So this one is designed for women who are like working or at home or whatever. And there's like a pocket at the back that you put your hair in.
Oh, cool. That's
Yeah,
really cool.
and it keeps off your face. Don't act like you don't love it.
I think I look really pretty in this hat. What do you think? You like it? Is it for women only?
Yes.
Gender is dead.
Where's this hat from?
It is also Turkish style.
Turma style. Man, you gotta go Turma.
Why you always have to copy my style?
I wore this first.
You.
They look so like fun to wear.
So we're currently at a gold sewing factory and getting a bit of an education on a local Bukharan specialty, which is gold threading. And it's really representative of how like dignified and sophisticated Bukharan society was. This golden detail is so incredible.
Subhi's freaking out
I'm
right now.
freaking out. Like I'm so overwhelmed. It's just so beautiful. Like I feel like I need to cry. Just like express my emotions right now.
Girl, just let it out. I get it. Just let it out.
Is it gonna fall? I'll bring this to the front of your one.
It's heavy, that's why. Amazing.
Yeah, что?
How do you feel wearing it?
I feel like a princess. I feel like something out of fairy tale. I feel like it's a cultural dress that I can wear and actually feel like it represents a part of my history and heritage for the first time.
Why? What makes it so different from the other ones you've tried?
I think it's not necessarily the difference in it. It's just like I think I'm slowly like, yeah, like this is a part of my identity, you know, opening up to that. Yeah.
She's dressed like freaking princess and I'm just like,
I'll let you have that.
I think you should only be allowed to wear another dress if I'm allowed to wear a dress.
I think you should try.
I don't want to ruin it. Yo guys, welcome to Cribs. You're in my palace. I'm Sultan Nadir, Devil Boogie. This is what I wear when I just like, you know, go to the supermarket, just buying some like vegetables, you know, this is just cash. You know, when I'm kind of pimping it, a bit of open top, show a bit of chest hair, you know how we do. You know how we do, baby. I wear this when I don't want to make a big deal of myself. When I want to keep it casual, keep it very subtle. Don't want to, you know, I'm not a show off kind of guy, but this is what I wear when I want to kind of blend in. This is me blending in.
And my head is
So we're here now with Manzila, trying to pin down the design for the third and last hat. So when I met Manzila, she had a dream, making her full-time job to start doing silk embroidery. And then we met, we shared our ambition, and then she told us hers, and we were like, oh my god, you'd be the dream partner.
Thank you. Yes, it's very amazing that it was my dream to just begin my handicraft, especially not just ordinary gold embroidery. It is just old style of really Bukharian gold embroidery, especially such kind of technique by counting, so geometrical pattern.
Manzila was telling me a really inspirational story that your grandfather,
My dad's father did such kind of handicraft gold embroidery, so maybe from my blood I'm just coming back to really Bukharian Emirates gold embroidery style.
Love that.
we have the granddaughter of a gold specialist making our hats. That's legacy.
This machine, handmade machine, and this one is put it on
Do you know how long this tradition has been carried on? Yeah.
just only in Bukhara. It is from ancient times.
So one hat like this, how long will it take you?
5 or 6 days.
5 or 6 days.
8 hours a day.
Here we go.
Here we go again. You make it look very easy. Like this.
So,
Wait, I'm supposed to use my left hand.
yes.
I just want to make sure these guys watching at home don't miss a single detail.
Okay, yeah, that's why she's
so you
really
can
taking her
replicate
time.
Listen, if Sobi was making your hat, guys, you should get it. Hopefully between now and maybe in 10, 20 years. Just opposite the Mir Arab Madrasa is a really beautiful balcony where you can sit and have like food. We're here at sunset and just reveling in this beautiful view, guys. Man, this city is, you're probably sick of hearing it, but amazing. It's literally like out of 1001 Arabian Nights or something, right?
I need some time to sit and like write about it, to be honest. I feel incredibly privileged to be here. My dad's side of the family is from this country, right? It's like I grew up in a place that's like so foreign to this. Our parents left here to, you know, go to somewhere like Australia to give me and my sister and stuff a better life. And it's like, I've had this incredibly privileged upbringing, and then I come here and it's like, I want to find a connection with this place. And it almost feels like, I don't know how to express just how sincerely welcoming this place feels. I think I'm just like surprised at how like naturally it's come, and how like when I see the older women here dressed up in their clothes and like their scarf that's like tied behind, you know, their neck, and it just feels so familiar. Like it's so foreign, but it's so familiar. And this feels like coming home at like a much deeper level that I can't express it in any other way. It just makes me feel like any one of these people like could be my family. Yeah.
And that's it for Bukhara, guys. It's been a magical city. We've enjoyed it a lot. Blew every expectation. We had a great time. Spent a lot of money. Learned a lot of histories. And now, tomorrow morning, very early, we drive a very long drive to Khiva.
Hazır Çoklark mecmasıda Muhammed Rahim Bahadır Han Hazretleri tahtga o'ltiradilar.
It's our last day in Khiva, penultimate day in Uzbekistan, and it's a mixture of feelings. One, we're very happy to be in Khiva, but also very sad to be leaving Uzbekistan because it's a beautiful bubble that we're not quite ready to burst yet. As the beautiful warm orange sun rises for our last time in Uzbekistan, it was a perfect time to reflect about what this whole trip meant to us. And there was so much. Heritage and objects may seem mundane, but really they are keys, ciphers, and hold in them memories and stories. That's what gives them significance. This journey was about creating a new story connected to an old object of heritage. And now at the end of our crazy journey, the significance of this doppy is renewed. Now every time I look at this thing that I maybe took for granted, it is riddled with our own memories and what we learned along the way. For a lot of us growing up disconnected from our heritage, it doesn't matter if it's a doppy or a shawl or pottery, objects have meaning. We may not quite see it yet, or we may be detached from what that is, and maybe we felt like they never belonged, these things. And that's a bit like how we see ourselves, really, searching to figure out where we belong. And in that search, it's easy to get frustrated, but don't search too hard. Sometimes we're so infatuated with looking in the past, we leave no room for something new and organic to take shape today. We are different, and that's just being real. We should be rooted in who we are, but confident enough in who we can be. Confident enough to forge new relationships with our heritage and the world we now live in. This will imbue relics of our past with a significance today. And that's how we can find a place for our cultures to belong and feel its relevance. The Uyghur people, who were the main inspiration behind this whole project, face cultural and ethnic cleansing. Wearing a simple doppa in the face of a culture's erasure symbolizes something quite powerful. It's resistance and preservation. So when a new generation feels confident enough to wear them in the new world, to own it, to make it theirs in a unique way, to encourage others to share, to feel proud to wear it and celebrate it, that's something quite incredible. And that's what this project is about, this experiment, this journey. It's all been trying to figure out a new way to tell our stories.
I have just finished braiding my hair in 6 different plats actually. But for me it's just a really beautiful way that I've seen Uyghur women doing their hair in lots of old photos and at different events and things like that. And I just think it's really beautiful. It's a funny feeling actually. I mean, growing up and I used to mess around with my hair braiding it and things like that. And it's a funny feeling being here now in Khiva and braiding my hair in the same way. I don't recall what my first memory of the hat is. I just know that we've always had doppa at home and they've always been really beautiful and I've always loved just trying them on. Well, I never wore it out in public though. It was just at home.
Why did you never wear it outside?
Because I suppose it felt like it wasn't, you didn't see anyone else around you wearing stuff like that. It wasn't Australian, it wasn't mainstream, or it wasn't cool or trendy.
Were you embarrassed of it?
I think I just recognized that it was foreign and that it didn't belong, in Australia.
Did that ever change?
It did. When we started this project. This is a story of a hat. Growing up, it always felt heavy, but nothing I wasn't proud to bear.
It took me about a year. It took me about a year to convince her to allow me to film something with her. Did you ever think you'd be in this position right now when we first met?
Definitely not. Definitely not.